little squirts cause a huge problem on an underwater cleanup mission.
It looks awful.
Yeah, it looks awful.
Bone-chilling weather and grueling labor make life hell, pushing Dominion's divers right over the edge.
That one's eastward.
And one diver's career could be cut off at the knees.
I'm in a lot of pain.
Grab the truck.
For 50 years, this family's built a business where nobody else dares. Recovering, repairing, resurrecting anything in the world's most dangerous waters. This is their world. Salt water in their blood, come hell and high water.
It's go time. Do or die.
Winter's got the North Atlantic in its icy grasp, but Halifax Harbor never freezes. And hell will freeze over before the work stops at Dominion Diving. Working outside is going to be cold and miserable, and today's job is one Christian and Ollie have never done before.
We're gearing up for a hull scrub. Hull scrub's gonna be pretty exciting because this is mine and Christian's first time doing a hull scrub. And from what I've been hearing from Boots and Sean and the boys at the shop, some of the older dogs, is the hull scrubbing gear can kind of kick your ass a little bit if you don't know how to use it.
Dominion Diving has been hired to clean the hull of the Earl Grey, an essential Canadian Coast Guard vessel. The Earl Grey is a 35-year-old light icebreaker built for working in the frigid waters of the North Atlantic. It's nearly 70 meters long and displaces nearly 3,000 tons. It's got a flat bottom and a reinforced hull for smashing through ice more than half a meter thick. It also has a large, powerful crane that's been used in some high-profile heavy rescue and recovery jobs. Scrubbing a ship isn't as easy as going through a car wash. Dominion's divers are going to scour every inch with steel-powered scrubbers, but the equipment presents dangers of its own.
So the biggest thing is making sure your umbilical is free and clear and not getting it snagged up in any of the gear, because some of the gear we're using is pretty gnarly, like this metal. Basically, you're cleaning the hull with these discs and they're spinning a mile a minute kind of thing. And so if you get your fingers or your face or your umbilical snagged up in there, it's not gonna feel too good. That'll hurt quite a bit.
It's the crack of dawn, and Dave is leading the operation, hoping to get it done on a tight schedule.
I wouldn't quite say this is a 2-day job, but it's probably could be more than a 1-day job. But we have 1 day to do it. So hopefully everything works fine because we don't really have time for problems. So we have to get there, do a pre-inspection of the boat, then we'll get started cleaning the boat. And once we're finished that, we have to do a full in-water inspection on the vessel as well. So it's a big day.
And it's off to a bumpy start.
Halifax traffic, Dominion Bearcat, good morning. We are now departing Dartmouth Cove for BIO.
Dominion Bearcat, Halifax traffic, Dartmouth Cove at BIO, over.
Luckily, the Coast Guard station is only a few kilometers away by boat.
This is the Earl Grey right here. This is the vessel we will be hull scrubbing. And I'm gonna tie up, hop in the water and get this bad boy a scrub.
Halifax traffic, Dominion Bearcat, we are now secure at BIO.
The Earl Grey is 40 meters across, and about half its 17-meter draft sits below water. Over time, everything below water gets encrusted with marine life. Mussels, kelp, and tube-like creatures called sea squirts. Every second counts in a rescue, and the living carpet on the ship's hull could slow it down by as much as 10%. It's all gotta come off. If Dave wants to get this done today, everything is gonna have to go like clockwork. But nothing's gonna be easy on this job.
There you go. Nice.
Just making sure everything's tight and one of those discs doesn't fly off and smoke somebody in the face.
There's already trouble. High winds and snow. It makes everything take longer.
This is for the compressor for the hull scrubber. Takes a while to start in the cold.
Dave is anxious to get the divers underwater. The compressor finally starts.
There you go.
Then immediately breaks down.
You gotta be fucking shitting me. Just fucking squirting all over my leg. Fucking mind blow. Which one?
The bitter cold makes the rubber hoses brittle.
Holy fuck. One of our hydraulic hoses kind of let go and kind of exploded everywhere. Our fitting split in half. It's just gonna slow us down a little bit.
Hey, let's switch hoses. Are you interested in going diving today? Right now?
Yes.
That's fantastic. Let's just get ourselves geared up and go diving.
Dave sends Christian in to inspect the marine growth around the hull, while Boots and Ollie try to get the hull scrubber up and running.
You know, it's typical that we find problems, especially when it's cold out. In this particular instance, we've got a fitting that's got a crack in it, so we had to switch out the lines. Not a huge deal, but already we're starting to see some, just gear issues. So hopefully that's just our little one that we get out of the way, and then we can continue on and have no other major problems throughout the day.
I've heard all the horror stories from Boots.
You're gonna love it.
I'm mentally dreading this day, but the time has come.
Christian hasn't used this machine before. Both me and Christian are new to it. We've heard lots of horror stories about it just beating the shit out of guys and basically chewing you up and spitting you out. So yeah, as you can see, Christian's super stoked. Face of the champion, Eye of the Tiger. He's fucking ready to get in the water and fucking go kill some sea life. What pack you want, big guy?
As the mercury plummets, so does the morale of the crew.
As you can see, the joys of winter diving, all our gear is frozen stiff. Everything freezes. Your fingers feel like they're gonna fall off, and you're hating your life. As soon as Christian gets out of the water, we're basically racing against time to get him out of the pack before he's frozen into it, and we gotta put him in a trailer and basically thaw him out again before he can get out of his gear.
It's 10 degrees below freezing. The wind makes it feel a lot colder, but it's even worse in the water.
So the water's probably around 1 to 2 degrees. The only problem with that is it sucks heat a lot faster than the air does. So it might sound warmer, but in reality, it's fucking hell in there.
You want to tell us what you're looking at there, Christian?
Through the helmet cam, they see the buildup of marine life is worse than anyone expected.
Ports off the bow. As you can see, we have some marine growth on the side here. It's, let's say probably messed off and
It looks awful.
Yeah, it looks fucking awful.
Dave's one-day job is turning out to be a hell of a lot bigger than he expected.
80% life remaining.
Millions of marine creatures glued to the bottom of this Coast Guard ship make the job of cleaning it bigger and more difficult than Dave expected.
Still appears to be 100% coverage.
She's pretty hairy, got quite a bit of marine growth on it. Mostly soft marine growth, what we can see right now.
Still looking like roughly around 5 centimeters from the water line or down to the keel, from what I can see.
It looks like this boat, for what's growing on it, has been stationary for a while. When we get down a little bit more, like a few feet underwater, we're into these soft sea squirts. It sounds like soft marine growth is not a bad thing, but it can be worse because it just sort of smushes around rather than just comes right off, and it gums up your stuff, your equipment, your brushes.
I've done lots of pressure washing, and I know sea squirts are fucking shitty.
Yeah, they don't want to come out.
No.
A lot of times when we do a hull cleaning, there'll be like a little bit of stuff on the sides, and then some patches where there's stuff that needs to be cleaned. This is 100% covered.
It's getting thicker down here now.
So if these boats are driving around, if they've got 4 inches of this soft marine growth on it, it's a huge amount of drag and resistance.
4 or 5 inches.
Because the Earl Grey is 70 meters long and 40 meters wide, this job is going to be like scrubbing 5 inches of rubber off an area more than half an acre.
We're gonna have to clean every square inch of it. Okay, copy that, thank you. So this will conclude our before look at the hull. So yeah, I guess we'll give you that machine and see if that takes them off.
Here comes the scrubber.
3.
Are you spinning?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So just leave it running, flip that thing sideways and stick it on. You're in the business. You're scrubbing.
That's fucking wicked.
So good, we'll say.
Yep.
The hull scrubber is a gas-powered hydraulic power tool and has a bad reputation for tossing divers around.
Looks like he's figuring it out. He's not getting fucking eaten alive by it. That's a good thing. If it was a new guy, it'd be a different story, but Christian's a good guy. I don't want to see him get his ass kicked by a fucking hull scrubber.
Sea squirts get their name from their ability to contract their bodies and squirt water. They're fascinating creatures, but they don't need your sympathy. Besides being a nuisance for the marine industry, they're also an invasive species that hitch rides on boats and choke out native ocean life. Sea squirts start out life as tiny tadpole-like creatures with a primitive spinal cord and brain until they find something to anchor onto. Then they digest their own brains and nervous system and grow into these tubes that feed by filtering microscopic creatures out of the water. So by the time they're being scrubbed off the bottom of a boat, they're not capable of feeling any pain. The hull scrubber's throwing lots of debris into the water, but Dave isn't convinced it's actually getting down to the metal.
A lot of times when it's thick like this, you'll get some stuff off, but it's not clean enough. So you end up going over everything, twice, which is kind of a drag. So we'll make our plan as we go. So this will be the moment of truth then, when you go back over what you just did, see if it actually took it off.
Finally, Christian's scrubbing reveals the Coast Guard's signature red paint. In a few spots anyway.
A little bit. I mean, it's not great.
It's just not working fast enough.
Let's see. It's my second pass on the fucking sea squirts. Yeah, are they coming off at all? No.
We just did a couple passes over them with the brushes, and it doesn't seem to do anything. So we could be looking at just cleaning up the water line with our brush carts and possibly having to hand scrape all the rest of it, which takes a lot of time. Very labor intensive.
Yeah, they just don't come off.
Unfortunately not. I can try a third pass.
Nah, we're gonna have to change our tactic for those sea squirts.
Okay.
So basically, the hull scrubber's not taking the sea squirts off the bottom. So we're going back to Old Faithful. We're just gonna hand scrape the bottom and hopefully haul it all off with that.
Let's hope Old Faithful delivers the goods. So it's out with the high tech, and in goes the low tech. It's a sidewalk scraper for removing ice in the Canadian winter, and it's pretty good dealing with sea squirts, but it's not fast.
This will slow things up considerably, but there's no real quick solutions. You just gotta sort of do it.
But at this rate, this one-day contract is going to take at least 3 days to finish. After that, the Earl Grey's got to leave port for its next Arctic patrol. Delays come out of Dominion's bottom line. Worse than that, they piss off an important customer. They got to get this done before the Earl Grey ships out. Dave decides to put extra manpower on the job, so Ollie's gearing up to join Christian in the water. At these temperatures, divers wear dry suits, but Ollie's dry suit is out for repair, and the spare is full of holes.
We've been super busy for the last couple months, and we've been just running crazy. So I got a couple small holes in my suit that essentially turned into wizard sleeves. So I'm wearing Boots' wetsuit underneath, which if you've ever seen Boots compared to me, he's about maybe a foot shorter than I am, and I probably got 100 pounds of gut on Boots. I'm definitely a bigger boy than he is. So I can't even zip his wetsuit up. And then I'm fucking cramming a dry suit on top of that. And I gotta get Boots to basically zip me into it.
With that beard, Ollie looks like a salty old sailor, but he's only 27. He's been a commercial diver less than 2 years.
All right, balance good, Dave. Balance off, train down, ready for me.
This is his dream job, even if it means being crammed into a wetsuit 2 sizes too small with a leaky dry suit stretched over top. Not the most graceful entrance, but at least he's having fun for now. But once the water gets in, fun time's over. He might as well be naked in temperatures 2 degrees above freezing. Ollie's own dry suit is out for repairs, and you can't get that done at just any old tailor. They're custom made, requiring specialized skills, tools, and materials. Luckily, one of the world's top manufacturers is located right in Dominion's own backyard. Abyss Diving Suits has been building and repairing commercial dive gear for 25 years. They're putting Ollie's gear together again, one piece at a time.
A dry suit versus a wetsuit is basically a method of keeping the diver warmer for a longer period of time in a cold environment. As a working diver, you'll need to stay in the water 3-4 hours. So a dry suit must be completely waterproof.
Jim George used to be a commercial diver himself, so keeping divers warm is near and dear to his heart.
I'm originally from Romania. I arrived in Canada in 1987 after spending a year in a refugee camp in Turkey. Only way to learn the profession of diver was to enroll the Navy. So I have the opportunity to dive with a lot of Eastern European diving gear and some Western European. So through my past experience, I realized what a diver needs.
A wetsuit fits skin tight and lets in a thin film of water that's warmed up by body heat. In colder temperatures, you need a dry suit. It's totally watertight and is cut loose to make room for insulating layers underneath.
It's critical for a dry suit to be fully customized to prevent any amount of water going in. In order to stay warm with a wetsuit, it has to fit you to perfection. For a dry suit, you have to leave an allowance. Hi, Dennis. I got you another one. That's a blue digital. Considering a dry suit will be put together with contact cement and sewn, we have to rely on quality of the material, quality of the glue, the adhesive, the quality of the stitching, and the assembling. There are way too many factors who go together to have a foolproof dry suit. Find a place to rest the suit.
Back at the Coast Guard wharf, Boots is getting ready to relieve Christian, who's been scraping sea squirts for 4 hours straight.
So those where we found there was like a little bit of algae or something underneath.
And Dave has to relay some bad news to head office.
But the rest of it, we have to scrape it. So it's, you know, it's gonna take a while.
It's like 4 hours of shoveling wet snow with no breaks, and you can't drink water in between. You get salt water in your mouth, so it just makes you more thirsty.
In my estimate, it's gonna take more than just today to get it done. Yeah, so we'll just keep doing it, and I'll let you know how we're making out. But we're not halfway done yet, and it's already after 12:30.
Boots joins Ollie in the water. There's still 50 meters of Canadian Coast Guard vessel left to scrape clean.
It's already almost 1 o'clock. We've got less than half of it done. So probably like, I don't know, a third of it done maybe. So Oliver's been in there almost getting up on 3 hours now. So that's a lot of time just, swimming and scraping. Very tiring work, use your whole body. So he'll be pretty exhausted. So we're gonna get him out, and as soon as he gets out, gets clear, I'll get geared up. I can hop in. It's gonna be awesome.
But something's gone wrong. After 3 hours in freezing water and patchwork dive gear, Ollie's in deep trouble.
I'm basically just trying to swim back to the boat. Both my legs just lock up, cramp, and it literally just felt like somebody was taking a hot knife and just shoving it in both my hamstrings. And my suit's so small that I can't bend over and get rid of my cramps or whatever, so it's just an absolute nightmare.
The freezing water and leaky dry suit have taken a toll.
So I come over to comms like, Dave, I need to get out of the water now.
He can't climb the ladder.
Boots is gonna come over and take your fins off for you, pal.
Okay.
So you want a rope?
Ollie hands off his gear. He can barely haul himself on board.
What is going on here?
Honestly, it was fucking pretty excruciating. I get worked up sometimes, but it's always good mood kind of thing. So for me to actually be that upset and that worked up is definitely doesn't happen too often. So I was definitely fired up.
You're working hard, and then you got to come back and climb a ladder. It's cold. It's hard on your body. So, we got him back on board. That's a good thing.
When I'm in the water, I can't really move or anything. I can't really get to any of my straps. So it's just it's a battle in there right now until I get my suit back from gym and boys at Abyss suit me out and get me nice and dry.
The bosses at Dominion have sent their niece Lorraine down to see how the job's going. She gets put to work right away.
All right, Lorraine, get over here. It takes two for the legs.
Yeah, lay down.
All right, I need your help.
Lorraine grew up around divers, and she's an experienced ROV pilot who spent years at sea, so she's seen it all.
No problem.
How many suits do you have on?
Too many.
That's boots?
Dave has run through all his divers, so now it's his turn to take the icy plunge and do battle with the sea squirts. But the temperature is dropping, they're burning daylight, and the job's nowhere close to being finished. After 3 hours of non-stop sea squirt scraping, Dave finally surfaces.
Halifax traffic, Dominion Bearcat. We've now completed our diving operations at BIO. We figure we're about a third of the way done, so we're gonna have to come back at it again another day.
Today's scorecard, Sea Squirts 1, Divers 0.
Halifax traffic, Dominion Bearcat.
Sunrise on Halifax Harbor.
Yes, good morning. We are departing Dartmouth.
Day 2 of the big job scouring the hull of the Coast Guard ship Earl Grey. Today, Gary's leading the operation with divers Boots, Guillaume, and Christian. The Coast Guard ship is heading out on a patrol tomorrow night. Scrubbing it clean will make it faster and more efficient, and could shave off crucial seconds in a rescue mission or a recovery operation. Like when the Earl Grey salvaged a sunken oil tanker, the Irving Whale, or hauling up airplane wreckage from the tragic Swiss Air Flight 111, a passenger jet that crashed in 1998, killing all 229 people aboard.
Generally speaking, these Coast Guard vessels, they need to be ready to go, and they need to be able to operate at peak efficiency. So with all these sea squirts on, it slows down the vessel, and it also causes vibration as well. Vessels are designed to be smooth and cut through the water, but with this, it's like trying to drag a shag carpet through the water, right? It's going to create a lot of drag.
After all the difficulties and delays yesterday, Gary's trying to speed things up. Nobody wants to come back for a third day of scraping sea squirts.
Yeah, so we have 2 divers in the water just to try to speed up the process, because it's a slow process. You just got to keep scraping. So you can have one guy at the bow, one guy at the stern, and just let them keep on keeping on. All right, Boots, you've been in for 3 hours, so you can make your way out.
Out with one diver and in with another. No time to lose.
Just giving a scraper a touch up. Makes life easier if she's sharp. Just kind of like a razor, right? You're just trying to give the boat a haircut.
After many hours of scrub-a-dub-dub, it still doesn't look good.
So Christian's coming up. We're doing what's called a repetitive dive right now.
7 hours into day 2, the vessel is still covered in a thick carpet of sea squirts. Boots is being sent back in for a second go.
It's cold out right now, and it kind of sucks putting your wet gear back on, but the office wants to get this job done, so we just got to keep on scraping away until it gets clean. This is one of our harder jobs, hull scraping. It's a very physical job. Just takes a lot out of you. It's like digging a hole for 4 hours straight. I don't think there's any divers that like it. I think there's still a lot of material on here, so I don't think we're going to be able to complete this today, unfortunately.
already a day over schedule, and the Dominion team will have to come back again to finish the job.
So you ready to fly out of here? Yeah.
Ollie's part of tomorrow's dive crew, but at least he won't have to do it in a borrowed dive suit again.
Jim, you here?
Oh, hello, Ollie.
Hey, how's it going? I heard you got my suit ready.
Glad to see you.
It's good to see you again. How's it going?
Well, it was a challenge to fix. I find a couple of holes here and there, nothing important. Your boots are still good.
Perfect, okay.
Put a brand new zipper, that was the problem.
Yeah,
we put brand new wrist seals there.
Perfect. I've had this suit for 2 years now, and I've put over 500 hours of working hours on it.
Yeah.
So I've been underwater 500 hours in this thing, and I couldn't be happier with it. I absolutely love it. I view it as an investment, right? A suit's a good thing if you wanna keep diving and be happy in the water. But I've been diving a suit that hasn't necessarily been the best right now, and I've been miserable at work. So now that I have a suit that I'm comfortable in the water again, and I'm happy and actually fits me, and I can touch my toes, I can take my fins off, I can do whatever. Like, that's huge. Like, that's definitely what I'm looking for. So yeah, thank you.
Okay.
I can't thank you enough, Jim.
Have a good dive.
You're the best. Thank you. I will.
The next morning, Ollie's looking forward to diving with his newly repaired dive suit, and he and Christian start gearing up for the day's work.
What fucking grinder's that?
I don't know, I like the blade on it.
Yeah, Rod, I like the look of it.
They need to sharpen up the scrapers before they head out. Better to do it here in a heated shop than out there freezing on the boat.
Weld something on, cut it off again.
Ollie's had a frustrating, painful week,
Here it is.
but things are about to get a lot worse.
She's a little sloppy.
Oh shit, dude.
Oh,
Holy.
dude.
Is that in your leg?
Yeah, it is. Can you just get me to sit down in a truck?
Here. Okay, get a first aid kit. That grinder just exploded on Ollie.
I'm in a lot of fucking pain.
When the grinder wheel snapped off, it sliced open a gash in Ollie's leg.
Yeah, I just need some fuck, I don't know.
Hit my knee. It hit my leg and bounced into my knee, yep.
That fucking exploded, man. It didn't even like touch anything. It just went fucking boom.
Take Ollie down. Just have a look at it before you go, Ollie.
Yeah, you can cut it open if you want. I don't really give a fuck. Just go at it. Actually, here, let me do it. Oh yeah, she got me fucking real good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Jesus.
It looks bad.
Yeah, truck.
Christian's got to rush Ollie to the emergency room. The nearest hospital is only 3 kilometers away, but every second is agony for Ollie.
Oh, fuck. I hate that grinder. Oh, it's good. My toes aren't numb or anything, so that's a fucking good sign.
Christian works with Ollie every day. They trust each other with their lives on every dive. And now, Christian helps Ollie each step of the way. Nobody says it, but they both know an accident like this could end Ollie's dive career.
Ollie's he's got a good chunk of flesh missing there. Yeah, I didn't want to look at it too much. I feel sick to my stomach, but yeah, he got it right in the knee, right in the kneecap. So I mean, not very good.
Back at the shop, an accident this serious requires immediate investigation by Sean and Robin.
We take safety very seriously. We feel bad when somebody gets injured. We don't know if it's our fault, something that we did, or you know, something that we didn't do that could have prevented it, or something like that.
Yeah, still plugged in there.
Lots of potential for injury at all times for all employees working with every piece of equipment that we have. So there's lots of controls that you put in place to minimize even the potential for the events. That being said, when something does happen, you got to just constantly be super reactive with it. Following that, actions required to eliminate whatever caused the accident.
A loose bolt caused the grinder wheel to wobble. It made contact with the housing and exploded. Ollie was on the wrong end of that explosion.
Once the nut gets slightly loose, you'll get movement in the disc. And when the disc is spinning up, a few thousand RPMs, it goes out of balance and it loses its integrity and it comes apart.
Ollie's, yeah. Hopefully the x-rays come back good and everything's good on that side, so. In the meantime, just lubing everything up and doing what maintenance we can to try and prevent that from happening again.
But the work has got to go on. They got to finish the job of cleaning that Coast Guard ship. The Earl Grey is set to ship out today. Christian is aboard the dive boat, but he's keeping an eye on his phone for any word from Ollie.
Diver in the water. This boat's kind of deceptive because it's got 20-foot, 5-foot straight sides and then a huge flat bottom. And then the bow is really thick as well, so it was a little more than we thought. The guys have been hard at her the whole time, and we're just finishing up the starboard side. It should be done in the next couple hours.
Well, we're getting there. We're getting close.
Still no word from Ollie. Christian's worried about him, but he's got to stay focused even as he uses a grinder just like the one that sent his buddy to the hospital.
All right, so you can see Boots there. Looks like we're down to our final patch. All right, so it looks like you guys are starting to meet up there, so she must be getting close to the end of it.
Oh yeah, but I think so.
So that must feel good.
Yeah, it's early.
After 3 days of scrubbing, scraping, and screaming, this is the last leg in the battle against the sea squirts.
Took his glove off too, he's crazy. So that's it, is it? All right, if I could get you guys just do a quick little zigzag, just to make sure we didn't miss anything, and then we'll get you out and do the final inspection.
Finally, no more sea squirts, algae, or mussels. Just the cold steel of the Earl Grey's hull.
That's it. We won. Just in time, too. It was right down to the wire, and we got her done. The boat was just about to leave in like 2 or 3 hours. They'll be happy with their speed and fuel efficiency improvement. So the job is now 100% complete. We've finally finished cleaning off the Earl Grey. The marine growth, there was 100% coverage, and it wasn't easy coming off. We couldn't use our automatic machines, which speeds up the process by at least like 4 times. So unfortunately, we just had to do it by hand, but sometimes that's just the cards you're dealt, so you just gotta put your head down and keep at it until you get her clean again. It's a hard, miserable job. No one enjoys this. It's one of the worst dirty jobs of diving that we have. Halifax traffic, Dominion Bearcat.
Dominion Bearcat, Halifax traffic, go ahead.
Yes, we have completed diving operations off of the Earl Grey located at BIO, and we are now departing for Dartmouth Cove.
With the sea squirts completely eradicated, the Earl Grey is ready for its next Arctic patrol. Dominion has kept itself in the Coast Guard's good books. With one job complete, Christian immediately starts prepping for the next one. And without Ollie, it's twice as much work.
No way, dude.
Dude, what's up? Oh.
On his way home, Ollie stops by to let everyone know he's okay.
No fucking way, dude.
Glad you're doing all right, man.
Good to see you, buddy. Yeah.
What's the doctor saying?
I got super fucking lucky, apparently. The grinding disc fucking hit my leg, took a bit of chunk of my leg with me, and then bounced off my bone, and then kind of dug into my knee, and basically just stuck into my kneecap, like right there.
Fuck, man.
Yeah, the fucking crazy thing is there's a whole shitload of tendons right there that keep your kneecap in place. And the doctor was like, I don't know, he was like, kept shaking his head and like scratching his head and like looking at me. He's like, it's a fucking miracle your kneecap's still on. He basically said, if it was any lower or whatever, all my tendons would be gone and I'd either be fucking losing my leg or like I wouldn't be able to move my legs or something. Like I'd be like fucked up for life pretty much.
You're a machine. You handled it like a champ though. I'll give you that. You're tough as nails. Right.
I had almost passed out, fucking not gonna lie, I was struggling to stay awake there for a minute. Honestly, worst case scenario, I was sitting there in the hospital and I kind of thought I was gonna like have some serious knee problems or at very least like, I don't know, maybe lose my knee or something. And like not knowing, is that like your career down the tubes, is that your diving career over with and all that jazz is kind of like, you know, a little nerve wracking. You can't really get any luckier than this, you know?
Yeah, another thing too, like you're really lucky the blade shot down into your knee, not up into your face. So, like,
I know. Well, like, let's be honest here. Like, I'm no male model anyway, so like, you know what I mean? A grinding disc to the face definitely wouldn't help matters at all.
You'd have an eye patch, a sailboat.
Yeah, then I'd be a fucking full bone pirate.
Yeah.
Oliver, he's a good-spirited fella. Just wanted to stop in and make sure that we knew that he was in good spirits, so we appreciated that. It ended up being real good that he had his safety equipment on and things like that. All the same, could have been a hell of a lot worse. So it's triggered some reevaluation of some of the procedures, using grinders, starting them up, testing them, installing wheels and things like that. Hopefully, with this one here, it was a very unlikely event. And with a few controls we put in place, it's an event that we won't see happen ever again.
Ollie can come back to work in a few weeks, but he still needs to be medically cleared to put on his newly repaired dive suit.
The main issue with my knee right now is going to be nitrogen bubbles getting caught in the scar tissue and getting a bend. So I just kind of want to let as much of the scab and as much of the scar tissue kind of get worked out before I go back to diving. So I'm hoping end of this week, maybe beginning of next week, I'll be back in the water. Fingers crossed.
Happy to have him back as soon as he's healed up and ready to come back.
The life of a diver on the North Atlantic ain't easy. The days are long, the water's cold, it's grueling physical work. But there's something about staring death in the face every day that builds a bond between people. They count on each other, and when things go wrong, they've got each other's back. They're a tough breed, but they take care of each other too. And they live to dive another day. The lords of the ocean.